Good morning, everybody. This is Miss Ray from the Great Falls Public Library, and it is time for our story time. So it's a whole new month now. Do you remember what month it was last month? It was February. And what did we celebrate in February? Do you remember? There were lots of hearts and candy. Do you remember? Valentine's Day was last month, right? And now, what month is it? Do you remember? It starts with the letter M. March. It's March now. And because it's March, it's time for us to pick our favorite Treasure State Award nominee. So the Treasure State Award is given to one picture book a year. Those books are all nominated by Montana citizens, so teachers, librarians, and students, and everybody gets to vote. So in the next couple of days, there will be a post with a poll for you to choose your favorite book, but this is not just for children. Adults are allowed to choose too. Everybody gets one vote, and there are 5 Treasure State Award nominees. So we will be reading those this month. So this week's book is called Honey, the Dog Who Saved Abe Lincoln. It was written by Shari Swanson and illustrated by Chuck Groenink. And let's get started. So we are going to start by singing When Cows Wake Up in the Morning. What do cows say when they wake up in the morning? Do you remember? Of course you do. Here we go. When cows wake up in the morning, they always say hello. When cows wake up in the morning, they always say hello. And what do they say? And that is what they say. Nice job, guys. All right, what do horses say when they wake up in the morning? Do you remember? Neigh. When horses wake up in the morning, they always say hello. When horses wake up in the morning, they always say hello. And what do they say? Neigh. And that is what they say. All right. What do dogs say when they wake up in the morning? Here we go. When dogs wake up in the morning, they always say hello. When dogs wake up in the morning, they always say hello. And what do they say? Ruff, 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 ruff. And that is what they say. All right. How about dinosaurs? What do dinosaurs say when they wake up in the morning? When dinosaurs wake up in the morning, they always say hello. When dinosaurs wake up in the morning, they always say hello. And what do they say? Roar! And that is what they say. Good job, guys. All right, let's do a little finger play. We're getting ready to write, working on all those fine motor skills. This one has some counting in it too. It's called One from the Left. It was written by Jim McGill. There is a fantastic video of this on YouTube. And we are going to start with your first finger on both hands. Can you show those to me? All right. Hide them behind your back. Here we go. One from the left and one from the right. Met in the middle and danced all night. They made up a dance called the whoop-de-doo. Woo, 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 woo. Then they waved goodbye and they walked away. Those two. Good job. All right, can you show me 2 fingers on each hand? Right. Hide them behind your back. Oh, before we hide them behind our back, so if we have 2 on this hand and 2 on this hand, how many is that altogether? That's right. It's 4. Hide them behind your back. Here we go. 2 from the left and 2 from the right. Met in the middle and danced all night. They made up a dance called Snips Galore. Snip, 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 snip. Then they waved goodbye and they walked away. Those 4. Nice job. All right, show me 3 on each hand. How many is that all together? 6 all together. Good job. Hide them behind your back. 3 from the left and 3 from the right. Met in the middle and danced all night. They made up a dance called the finger mix. Do, 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 do. Then they waved goodbye and they walked away. Those 6. Good job. Show me 4 on each hand. Good job. How many is that all together? That's 8. Good job. Hide them behind your back. 4 from the left and 4 from the right. Met in the middle and danced all night. They made up a dance called bend and straight. Bend, straight, bend, straight, bend, straight, bend, straight. Then they waved goodbye and they walked away. Those 8. All right, show me 5. On each hand, how many is that all together? 10. Here we go. 5 from the left and 5 from the right. Met in the middle and danced all night. They made up a dance called clap, 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 clap again. Then they waved goodbye and they walked away. All 10. Nice work, guys. All right, let's do our animal rhyme. So this one is, do you know Bingo? Do you know that song? So there was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, right. So what happens next? We take away the letter B and we replace it with a clap, right? So this song is a lot like Bingo. So we're going to sing it all the way through, and there's a bunch of animals. And each animal, we're going to say its name out loud. And we're going to do a motion for it. So we'll go all the way through, and then we'll start taking away the animals, and then we'll only say their names inside our heads while we do the motions. Here we go. Our first one is a crocodile. Show me those jaws. Good. An orangutan. Show me those monkey arms. A flying eagle. Good job. And a slippery fish. Nice. A bunny. Show me those bunny ears. A beaver. Show me those teeth. And a crazy elephant. Show me that trunk. And then we'll go na 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 na. All right, guys. Here we go. There was a crocodile, an orangutan, a flying eagle, and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Great job. All right, this time we're going to take away the crocodile. So we're going to do the motion, but we're just going to say the crocodile's name inside our head. We're not going to say it out loud. Here we go. There was an orangutan, a flying eagle, and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Nice work. All right, now we're going to take away our crocodile and our orangutan. Here we go. There was a flying eagle and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Good job. All right, this time we're going to take away our crocodile, orangutan, and our flying eagle. Here we go. There was a and a silvery fish, a bunny, a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Nice work, guys. All right, we're going to take away our crocodile, our orangutan, our flying eagle, and our silvery fish. Here we go. There was a and a Good job. A bunny, a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Nice work. All right, we're going to take away our crocodile, orangutan, our flying eagle, our silvery fish, and our bunny. Here we go. There was a, and a beaver, a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Fabulous work. All right, we're going to take away our crocodile, orangutan, our flying eagle, our silvery fish, our bunny, and our beaver. Here we go. There was a, and a crazy elephant. Na 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 na. Awesome. All right, this time, last time, guys, we're taking away all of the animals. We're just going to say them all inside our heads. There was a, and a, na 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 na. Woo! Nice work, guys. All right, that one comes from Jayberry. Let's read. Honey, the dog who saved Abe Lincoln. Do you know who Abe Lincoln is, guys? He was the President of the United States during the Civil War. And that's what he did when he was a grown-up. But this is a story about what he did when he was a kid. Let's read it. I'm going to need to scoot over. Sorry, guys. When young Abraham Lincoln was kneeling deep in the woods, when 3 shrill blasts of a whistle cut through the quiet, his corn was ready at the mill, and he was late. Watching a frog limp away into the brush, Abe smiled. It wasn't every day he was able to rescue a frog right out of a snake's mouth. Whoa. Abe hurried back to where Mr. John Hodgin, the miller, was waiting. Now, Abe, what took you so long this time? Mr. John asked. I just can't move along fast like some boys, Mr. John, because I see so many little foolish things that make me stop. I can't help it to save my life. Mr. John patted the boy's head and handed him a sack of ground corn. Now, get on your way, Abe. You best be home before dark. Abe heaved the bag onto his shoulder and set off on the long path that wound its way like a rusty snake through the Knob Creek hills to the Lincolns' log cabin. Abe had only a mile or so left to go when something caught his attention. He froze. What was rustling in the bushes? What do you think it is? Any ideas what that could be? Oh boy, I hope it's not another snake. Beneath some brambles at the base of a cliff, Abe found a dog, whimpering softly. The dog's front leg was broken. Did you fall, boy? Abe asked. The dog looked up into Abe's eyes, wagging its tail. Abe patted the gentle dog's head and looked around for something to use to set the leg. He was only 7 years old, but Abe had spent his whole life on a Kentucky farm, and he knew how to tend to animals. He pared 2 sticks smooth with his pocket knife to make a splint, and then he peeled the soft bark off a pawpaw bush to wrap around the sticks. Finally, he tied it all around the dog's leg with some rawhide from his belt. By the time Abe was through, the sun was slanting low through the trees. Abe hefted the bag of ground corn onto his shoulder and called to the dog. The dog struggled up and limped along after Abe on his 3 good legs. Abe was going to be late. That wasn't unusual, but this time he would have a dog to explain. Abe's father was asleep by the fire when Abe got home, but his mother was waiting up. Oh, Abraham, where have you been off to this time? Didn't you know I would be worried? I found a real honey of a dog. His leg is broken, Abe whispered. Please let me keep him. Abe looked up at his mother. He'll do lots of good things for me, he told her. Just you wait and see. Nancy could never say no to her beloved boy, so the dog stayed. Abe snuck Honey scraps of food, and soon the dog was able to walk again. Honey's leg looked like a curve in the road, but that didn't stop him from trotting along after Abe on their adventures. Everywhere Abraham went, Honey went. One day, Abe showed up late to drop off his grain at the mill. Mr. John shook his head. Why do you fool your time away? He asked Abe. You have seen these hills and hollows hundreds of times. I can't understand what you find to keep you so long on the road. Well, Mr. John, Abe answered, Honey got a possum in a hollow stump, and I couldn't get him to leave it, and I couldn't leave Honey. Abe wandered off a bit to wait his turn. He took out a soapstone pencil to practice writing his letters on a bit of bark, but soon the woods were calling, and Abe got the itch to answer. Before long, he and Honey found themselves at the mouth of a cave. Can you guys see this? Wow. Have you ever been in a cave? I wonder what's in there. Deep, twisting caverns traveled for hundreds of miles under Kentucky. Wow. A boy and his dog could get lost in those caverns. And sure enough, disaster struck. Abe got jammed between two boulders and couldn't move. Try as he might, pulling himself this way and that way and back again, he was hopelessly stuck. And night was beginning to fall. Honey whimpered and pawed at the ground. Abe couldn't move. Honey normally never left Abe, but this time he headed alone back to the darkening woods. Honey would need to get help. Back at the mill, the entire town had gathered in the night to search for Abe. Mr. John had been blowing and blowing on his whistle, but Abe hadn't come. Nancy Lincoln asked Mr. John, Have you seen the dog, Mr. Hodgin? Was Honey with Abraham when he came back to the mill? Yes, the dog was with him, answered Mr. John. Abe's mother was grateful for Honey. It comforted her to know that Abe had him for protection. She waited anxiously at the edge of the dark forest, hoping her boy would come home soon. Then she heard something rustling in the bushes. Here's Honey! Here's Honey! She called. Suddenly Honey emerged from the bushes, barking and whining at Nancy's feet. The dog looked into the faces of one after another until he got Mr. John. Then Honey jumped up on Mr. John and barked in his face. Grab your torches, called Mr. John. We'll follow where the dog leads. Yelping and panting, Honey headed back through the woods. The townsfolk followed behind him, their torches parting the night. When the townsfolk came to the cave entrance, Honey stopped. The townsfolk were afraid. Many a silent prayer went up for the boy's safety. Mr. John blew 3 times on his cane pole whistle. Here I am, called Abe, his voice echoing from deep within the cavern. But I'm fastened. Mr. John carefully made his way into the damp, narrow tunnel. He found Abraham tightly wedged, but had no room to swing a sledge to break the rocks. Mr. John could only tug Abe out, even though it meant leaving some of the boys hide behind. Once Abe was back up into the night air, Nancy rushed to hold her beloved son and his precious dog. Abraham was surprised by the crowd. He smiled at his mother. I knew Honey would do great things for me, he said. Now he has paid me back for mending his broken leg. The next day, and for many more days after that, Abe and Honey were back to their adventures, bumping and scrambling their way along the banks of Knob Creek. A boy and his loyal dog, Honey. And that's the end. And that is just the first of the 5 Treasure State Award nominees that we will be looking at this month. And I will get that poll up here on Facebook as soon as possible so that you can vote for your favorite. All right. Well, thank you so much for reading with me today, guys. Let's clap and sing goodbye. And I will see you next Wednesday with another Treasure State Award nominee. Here we go. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. We'll see you next week. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.